So yeah, welcome back everyone to Lostbelt 2 Gulterdamerung. We are back here at Section 5. When last we left off, we fought a bunch of Valkyries, and we were about to get pushed back, but then big old Napoleon showed up and blasted them out of the sky. So let's talk more with Napoleon, shall we? With Section 5, Castle of Snow and Ice. I have no reason to... Wait, I do have a reason to change one of these. There we go. Actually, you know what? Since she doesn't get to come out and play all the time, let's bring out Scheherazade. Oop. Section 5, Castle of Snow and Ice.
The gate won't open, will it?
No, Gerda. It only opens on the ordained day. Assuming you stay here and don't go out again, at least.
I won't. Nobody has a fever right now.
You did a good deed, Gerda, so the goddess and the envoys will forgive you. That they didn't punish you is proof enough of that, right? Still, the gate won't open. I wonder if we really will have to wait for the next ordained day to set off on our journey, like he said we would.
This has never happened before. What's going to happen now? It almost feels like I'm dreaming.
An envoy only comes on the ordained day. The goddess hasn't permitted them to descend from Valhalla at any other time. At least that's what that man with that huge metal thing said. Whether it's true or not is beyond me. Honestly, we're not sure what to do now either. It never even occurred to us that something like this could happen. Some are saying we should try to force the gate open now, but...
You can't. You'll never get to Valhalla without an envoy. So, in that case, maybe you could all just wait until next year.
Yeah, I suppose we could.
Of course you could. All the children were thinking how nice it would be to make a flower bed past the field a bit bigger. We'd all be so happy if the grown-ups helped us. I mean that, you know? So, what do you say?
The fire on the mountains. Yes, I have no idea what's going on with that either. The snow and ice at least makes some sense, but the fire? I got nothing.
Really? So you know what's going on with the ice that covers the mountains and the snow that covers all of Scandinavia?
Fo. Yeah, more or less. I may as well explain while we're taking a break. I guess it's about time I told you the point of this march anyway. Say, I never did tell you where I wanted to go after we left the village, did I? All you said was join me. You didn't say anything. Sorry about that. Alright then. Let's start at the beginning. You two know about the myth of Ragnarok, right? Well, in this Lostbelt, it looks like the last war between the gods and giants still took place. But, as you have likely figured out for yourselves, the Age of Gods didn't end here for some reason. Thanks to that, civilization never developed. Humans are still worshipping gods and giants roam unchecked around the mountains. Basically, for the last 3,000 or so years, things have remained pretty much the same as they were back in 1000 BC, when the Norse Age of Gods was originally meant to end. That is what led to this place heading down a slightly different path from the myth we know. Fo.
The Age of Gods lasting into the present day. So then Director Gordolph and Da Vinci were right.
Ah, the real deal starts right here in Scandinavia. Didn't you hear the kids going on about goddess this, goddess that? Well, there you are. She didn't die in Ragnarok, or turn into a divine spirit. She has remained intact to this day. Now, she rules this Lost Belt using her 100 envoys as a go-between to keep both the giants and humans in check. She is the last god in Scandinavia, and she has kept the Age of Gods going all this time. She lives in the northern part of the Oslo Fjord, in a castle located in proper human history's Old Oslo region. The Queen of Scandinavia, who covers half its mountains in frost. Skaha Skadi, goddess of snow and ice. The last remaining deity, and the one in charge of this entire Lost Belt. We're not talking servant here. We are talking full-blown, honest-to-goodness goddess. I'm trying to get to her castle, and that's probably where you'll find your cryptor and that servant too. I would bet it's also where that paper moon thing is, along with, what was it called again? The, Tree of Emptiness? Anyway, I bet they know where you can find that too. Eh? Skaha? Ah.
You mean that Skaha?
That's what I said. Oh, Fofo, Q! Ah, get off of me! What is this thing, a dog? I mean, I'm okay with dogs. Oh. What? What's your problem? What did I say?
Foe, stay! What's gotten into you?
Meanwhile...
And what about the giants? Indeed, they may appear to be quite active, but they're not exactly industrious. I hold absolute authority over them. I can make them attack or sleep with a single command. But even I cannot suppress their instincts. The giants who survived consume heat in any form they can. Though most of them remain in hibernation, they will awaken at the slightest hint of a new heat source and devour it immediately. So then the giants can't serve as a proper disciplined army, as I suspected. Of course, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your ability to control many of them at once. But...
As familiars go, they're third-rate at best. You've got third-rate familiars for a fourth-rate army.
Saber! It's quite all right. That knight of yours is correct, Ophelia. The giants may have lived through the fires of Ragnarok as the humans and I did, but they are a pitiful shadow of their former selves. Still, they were once proud, mighty souls. And that is why I must love them, for they too are living things here in Scandinavia. We gods may not always have seen eye to eye with the giants, but they were still beings on par with us. The heat of the flames scorched them all. It twisted the frost giants, the mountain giants. No giant escaped its wrath. Now they've become so twisted that they are little more than walking calamities. They bring nothing but death and destruction, just like fire. So I shall keep them in check myself. With the masks born of my own hands, I can unite all the giants under my own rule. For I carry the noble blood of Ymir in my icy veins.
Aha! So you two knew Skaha from proper human history, eh? Unfortunately, this version of her is absolutely not the person you know. She is not some divine spirit, not a god that has lost its body and dissolved back into nature. She is an actual, living goddess. Skaha Skadi, goddess and queen, has been around for thousands of years, ever since the Age of Gods, a fusion of the Norse goddess Skadi and the Celtic warrior Skaha.
Skaha Skadi. I see. I did hear that certain aspects of Skaha from proper human history may have blended in with the Norse deity Skadi. I suppose that means in this Lostbelt, Skadi, the goddess of snowy mountains, who is herself part giant, would be the predominant figure over Skaha.
Yep, that seems to be pretty much it. Here in this Lostbelt, where the Age of Gods never ended, she rules over humans and giants alike. Her goal seems to be for everything to remain as is. I guess that part's the same as other Lostbelts, though. If nothing else, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to wipe humanity out. In fact, word has it that Skaha Skadi loves all forms of life. That's what I've been hearing anyway.
Oh?
Loves?
Which means we can reason with her, as long as we don't go openly declaring war on her or anything. She won't see us as enemies, guaranteed.
But Napoleon, we've already destroyed a number of her envoys.
Trust me, it's gonna take more than that to ruffle this queen's feathers. I know it sounds pretty weird, but it's true. This man's played civilization. She doesn't call herself the mother of Scandinavia for nothing.
Wait, mother?
That's right. That said, I can understand why you would be nervous, especially after that big do-stop we had with those envoys. But that is as much my fault as it is yours. Sorry for getting you too caught up in that.
Hey, don't worry about it. We're just grateful you saved us.
Hey, thanks. That makes me feel a lot better.
I have to say, Napoleon, I'm impressed how much you know about both this Lostbelt and proper human history.
Huh?
Napoleon Bonaparte, you first made a name for yourself after the French Revolution in 1789, eventually going on to become the first Emperor of France. As the Supreme Commander of the Grande Armée, you were one of France's greatest rulers and conquerors. For a time, you controlled over half of Europe, and your grand expedition to Russia is particularly well known. But at least in our database, I haven't seen anything regarding your exploits that pertains to Scandinavia. I did hear that you were quite the fan of James Macpherson's Ossian, which had epic poems similar to the Norse poetic Edda, but that's all. What I'm trying to say is, you must have acquired your knowledge of Scandinavia after you materialized. Is that right, Napoleon?
Yeah, how do you know so much?
Well, sure. I materialized here just a little bit before you all showed up. And that's why I happen to know so much. I've been getting all this information while I travel around on foot and on some skis I made. As to the source of my information, well, I think I'll hold off on that for now. An air of mystery makes hotties like me even hotter, don't you think?
Oh, Fofokyo!
Ooh! What is it? You want me to fess up everything? No secrets? Ah, come on, lay off me, doggo. I've got my reasons.
Fo isn't actually a dog.
Ugh. Well, let me be perfectly clear about one thing. This here heroic spirit is on humanity's side. I am your ally. I came here to save you. Just make sure you don't forget that. As long as you don't, we could even make a temporary contract if you want.
Senpai.
He did save us when we were in a really bad spot.
Yes, I agree. He is capable and trustworthy. Oh, that's right. I couldn't believe my eyes when I first saw an archer like you wielding that enormous cannon.
Is that so? I didn't think artillery specialists were all that uncommon. Then again, maybe it's tougher than I thought for someone like that to make their mark on humanity. It's not like I was an artillery officer my whole life. Hell, my spirit origin and noble phantasm are both pretty much afterthoughts.
Then you mean you didn't use a cannon like that when you were alive?
Of course not! You're a riot, mademoiselle. Can you imagine an emperor like me going around wielding a cannon like this? Though I guess I shouldn't laugh, huh? Sorry about that. It's just not that uncommon in modern heroic spirits. I don't know what sort of adventures you've gotten yourselves up to before, but haven't you seen anything like this with other modern heroic spirits from proper human history? You know, where they turn out to be kind of a caricature of their real selves?
Kinda. Kinda.
Oh, now that you mention it, Babbage's heroic spirit materialized as a mechanical suit of armor. And Edison
Looks exactly like he did when he was alive.
doesn't look even remotely close to how he did when he was alive, maybe because of the special circumstances surrounding his materialization.
Yeah, some of them end up turning into innocent monsters, too.
Right? And in my case, I got a giant cannon. And that's not all that's different. Look how tall I am. Ooh la la, won't be getting called short anytime soon, not a chance. Well, as far as looks go, I've got my own reasons for appearing like I do. But enough of that, though. Anyway, anything else you want to ask me?
Yes,
Fo-fo!
remember how Gerda said that at least in Village 23, an envoy won't come again for another year? Is there a reason for that? Something you know from your unidentified information source?
I can't be totally certain it would be another year, but it sounds right to me. Oh, but that's not my source talking. I learned that firsthand.
How?
Well, just look at how many of them showed up this time. The envoys aren't allowed to sacrifice humans on any day besides the one that goddess lady, Skadi, has ordained. So they must have brought a whole bunch of them along to make sure the ritual didn't go off the rails again.
Hold up. Again?
All right, this wasn't my first run-in with them. Back at another village, I caught one of them trying to open those giant gates and sniped him. There was just the one back then, probably because they didn't expect anyone to attack them. But that obviously wasn't the case with that last village. Remember them saying something about shared records? Well, the data from the one I sniped got shared with the rest. Looks like they responded by shoring up their numbers in preparation for another attack. The envoys don't care about the Queen's philanthropy. They're basically just machines. There's no reasoning with them.
I see.
Fo-fo!
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is... I'm sorry! I had no idea they'd come back with those kinds of numbers. I guess I really messed things up for you two.
Oh, no, not at all. We never would have won without your help, especially given how strong each envoy was individually.
Ah, yes, that. I guess I ought to level with you. I'm pretty sure the sisters they base the envoys off of are even stronger. The ones we ran into yesterday are basically mass-produced dolls that Queen Skadi made by infusing them with her own magical energy.
Mass-produced dolls?
May as well get this out there, too. The queen here is merciful, yes, but the whole place is lousy with powerful, vicious enemies. A shitstorm of envoys. The Lostbelt servant with his demonic sword and almost no allies for us. Even with the odds that stacked against us, are you two still ready to fight? Of course. That's why we came here.
Exactly. Yes, we are ready to fight. We're the only ones who have a chance, no matter how small, of restoring Earth in proper human history. So that's why...
Gotcha. That's good to hear. Me? I'm the type of guy who once ruled over most of Europe. I'd say that more or less makes me its king. Fo. Special translation. What's Boney here going on about? So, if you call for me, I'll come running right away. Doesn't matter where, even way up north. Doesn't matter how cold it is, I'll be there. After all, if someone begs for my help, how could I refuse? Back when I was alive, there was a mountain of problems keeping my hands tied, like budgetary concerns, stockpiling issues. But now that I'm a heroic spirit fighting for humanity, nothing is going to hold me back. Ha ha! There might only be so many categories of things I can help with, but if there's two things I do best, it's fight hard and win. If that's what you're looking for, then your search is over. Besides, Scandinavia is still part of Europe, and nobody's better at winning in Europe than I am.
Senpai, his confidence and spirit are amazing. Although there is one thing I'm a little concerned about. As I recall, Emperor Napoleon's biggest defeat was...
when the Grand Army couldn't handle the Russian winter.
Yes, exactly. That defeat would go on to be a major factor in the decline of his reign.
Honestly, would have been nice to get another crack at Russia for my revenge, but... oh well, c'est la vie. Still, since we're in a harsh wintry environment too, I will settle for avenging my Grand Armé's defeat here.
I don't think that's how karma works. At all. Ever.
Ah, now don't be like that, Private.
Private? Do you mean Senpai?
That's right, you're the first recruit of my new Grand Army. Good luck. Work hard enough and maybe you'll even earn a medal. Fo.
I'm sorry, but didn't you already give Senpai a medal?
Oh, yes, I did, didn't I? Ah, crap. I guess we lost track of time. Looks like we ran into a group of them out on patrol, mademoiselle.
You're right. Magical energy signatures are heading towards us. Fortunately, they're still far enough away that I can use my thrusters to make a clean getaway.
No, I say we let them find us. I want to get a better look at how you two fight. I'm not saying we do this for kicks. We need to hone our skills against opponents we know we can defeat before we come up against someone really tough. We need to get better at fighting together as a unit. Call it teamwork, if you like. So, what do you say? Makes sense to you, Private?
I do want us to get better. Let us promote synergy.
Now we're talking. All right, here they are. Let's get this battle underway, Private.
Would it be better or funny if Napoleon was in Lostbelt 1? They would probably play it up for comedic value. More than anything.
Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, bum, bum.
やれふんアンドゥトラント見切れるかしら。アンドゥトラワルツエトワール。やめてください。
Behold, chat, our fight against the Pillarmen.
ではどうしよう。クーダ。ではどうしよ
次はこのやればいいんでしょ。お話がお望みご存知のはず。楽しみましょう。これは私のことの葉が紡いだ終わりなき願いの物語。アルフ・ライラ・ワ・ライダ。今宵はここまで。
We will end here tonight, between my massive bosom.
貫いてあげる。覚悟はいいかしら。寝てしまっても構いませんよ。昔昔。そうお見舞いだし。思う存分やっていいのね。
Unfortunately, no melt cards to follow up.
生きていた痕跡さえも溶かしてあげる。行くわよ行くわよ行くわよ行くわよ行くわよ。サラスバティメルトアウト。山場です。やれお楽しみください。楽しみましょう。見切れるかしら。おしまい。
All right, let's... Oh, more talking.
This Hinako person's Lostbelt is absolutely out of the question. 2 of the other 4 that remain are completely unfit as well. In which case, I suppose we will need to cooperate with the Great Ones of Greece, as you originally proposed. Yes, Your Majesty. I believe that would be the wisest. Peperoncino is an excellent crypter in his own right, and his Lostbelt is of high quality. But in my estimation, it still does not compare to yours, Queen Skahaskadi. I do find that crypter charming, but given what you have told me, I cannot say I care for his Lostbelt. Still, I much prefer it to the one lying right in the middle of a continent. That aside, what a bizarre name he has. Peperoncino? It does have a strange charm to it. No matter. Let us discuss something else. The incident that took place in Village 23. It seems members of Chaldea did indeed join forces with that man. I'm told they destroyed quite a number of my daughters, the envoys modeled after the Valkyries. My knight and I will see that they are dealt with at once.
Just say the word and I'll kill them. Even a demonic sword gets rusty if you don't use it now and then.
What have I told you? You will kill no one. Despite your pledge to serve me, Ophelia, I see your heart still lies with another. However, this is still my world, and so you will kill no one. They may end up meeting their end at the hands of giants, or at the hands of other imitation Valkyries. But that is simply the way of the world. It is as natural as footprints on morning snow. There is no need to involve your demonic sword. Besides, did I not tell you I would love them? I did not think that you were serious. You say that as if it doesn't concern you. Ophelia, your deadpan expression is impressive, but also dull. Then again, he doesn't want my love, does he? Be that as it may, when it comes to dealing with others besides myself, my question remains the same. That is, do I kill them, or do I love them? If I decide to kill them, I do so immediately. I halt them, freeze them, and destroy them. If I decide to love them, I do so until their dying breath. I nurture them, stay with them as they die. All humans are my children, as are all giants. Do I kill them, or do I love them? My enemies I kill, my children I love. That is who I am, the queen, the mother of Scandinavia. And yet again, that goes for you too, Ophelia, and you, Knight. You are my beloved daughter, and you, my precious son. Every life that grows here in Scandinavia is my child. No, your kindness knows no bounds, Your Majesty. Indeed, that goes for the 3 Valkyries Odin entrusted to me as well. Thrud, come here. Valkyrie, Thrud, reporting for duty. Wonderful to see you in good health, Skaha Skadi, our goddess and protector, and you, Lady Ophelia, her sworn ally. Have I not told you to call me Mother? Really now. As you wish.
She sure does rattle on a lot for a doll.
And what is your command? We shall obey any order you give us. For you are our master, Skaha Skadi. After all of these years, you still refuse to behave as my daughter. No matter how often I see it, it still manages to impress me. Tell me, my beloved daughter, as leader of my 100-odd envoys, what do you make of the incident in Village 23? I know you are obedient, but despite what that knight says, I also know you are no mindless wooden doll. We are meant to execute our master's commands. We cannot make decisions on our own. That's quite all right. Just tell me what you think. Keep it to pure analysis if you must. Very well. Of course, if you say these transgressors will be permitted to remain alive, we shall act accordingly. I do think that they can be left alone. As for the destroyed envoys, they were mass-produced units with no ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Still, based on what I have seen in our shared records, I don't think the 3 of us will need to respond. Even if circumstances change, and we do end up needing to deal with them, I think the Giants, or a mass-produced unit's self-destruction function, should be sufficient. Oh? I am told the transgressors are a human, and one who is half human, half heroic spirit. There is no need for the 3 of us to confront such a lowly foe.
Cheeky little doll, isn't she? Come on, Ophelia, just say the word. I want to break it right here and now.
Do not be ridiculous. Her Majesty is right there. You will not act without my permission. That is fine. I like the way your knight speaks his mind. But stay your sword. You are not to harm my daughter. She's adorable in her own way. I accept her as she is, and I love her. Very well then, Sir Knight. Would you like to try drawing that demonic sword of yours right now? Your Majesty! Give me the command, Your Majesty, and that heroic spirit will be destroyed, demonic sword and all. It may be difficult for Thrud alone, but our chances of success would improve greatly with all three of us. That's all right. At ease, my ferocious daughter. Know that even I tend to jest at times. That wasn't funny, Skaha Scotty. Do forgive me. Seeing your adorably innocent faces, I simply could not help myself. Now then, I think I shall return to my throne for a time. I doubt that they will make it here by tonight, but by tomorrow evening, I expect we will have guests. No doubt they will encounter more giants that roam my world, and destroy more imitation Valkyries before then. I do wonder, though, if they will survive long enough for us to meet.
Not Kaiba continues to be very Kaiba in his personality. And back to Shuten. Let's give my mysterious heroine some bond points, because, yeah, why not, right? Boop. Looks like we're just loading into a fight. Possibly, maybe. Guys, if Kratos was to show up anywhere, it would make the most sense for it to be Greece, right? Bonk. Oh, I'm aware in the new God of War he's dealing with the Norse pantheon. Doesn't change the fact that Kratos is as Greek as you get. Yeonching's VA's out of surgery and returned to work? Oh, nice. That's good to hear. Good to hear some good news. Imagine if Scotty was watching this stuff. Oh yes, we have very fearsome giants all around. Did she just drink that giant? Technically, both Shuten and Melt do the same thing. They drink their opponent as their ultimate attack. So yes, we just drank those giants. Delicious.
All right, there goes the last one. Nice job, you two. I must say, I didn't think we'd be running into more mass-produced Valkyries out here. Then again, both those things and the giants are loyal to the queen, so it makes sense they might fight side by side. It was like something straight out of myth, seeing Valkyries with giants in tow.
It was rather magnificent seeing them both together like that. At any rate, Master, I can confirm there are no more magical energy signatures nearby. Well done.
You two, Mash, great job out there. And you too, Napoleon, you were a big help.
Thank you.
Gotta say though, you two handled yourselves pretty nicely. I could tell you've done this before. You've got real guts, little shield lady. And you too, Gouda. Also, your name is Gouda, so I must commend you for that. Ho ho ho, French. How do you summon so many heroic spirits at once? I don't suppose you could get them to stick around?
Fo.
Well, that's a damn shame. Otherwise, I could have put together the greatest grand army of all time. But there's no sense crying over, milk you can't even spill. Anyway, we'll just have to build up our strength the old-fashioned way. In other words, the three of us have got to get stronger. Let's see.
Might I suggest an 80s montage?
Here, let me give you some tips for hunting giants. First off, try to go for their sensory organs, or legs. That's your best bet unless you've got a real powerhouse of a weapon. If so, you can just go for the vitals and take them out in one shot.
You keep saying sensory organs, but do you mean their heads?
That's right, the head is full of sensory organs. Those masks they wear cover up their eyes and noses. It doesn't look like their hearing is exceptional. So they might be relying on some kind of sixth sense, or perhaps an ability that lets them detect heat sources. But I figure the eyes are a safe bet. So make sure you go for their heads, even if you have to hit them through their masks. They're a big target, so it shouldn't be too tough to damage them. When going for the legs, the knees and ankles are the best targets. The giant's size and mass can be intimidating, but once you've knocked them to the ground, they're pretty much sitting ducks. In other words, there's nothing too special about it. Just follow best practice.
Fo. Were you always this good at hunting giants, Napoleon?
Yes, I'm surprised too. I had no idea you were also a great giant killer. I don't know of any tales about you killing giants myself, though. Is it possible for stories to be both secret and passed down to others?
Don't worry, you're not missing any stories. Things just sort of worked out this way.
Fo.
Worked out?
Pretty much. It's gonna be nightfall soon. Perfect. What do you say we make camp for the night right around there, eh? Besides, I think it's about time we talk tactics.
We found a lovely little cave.
Oh, wow. There really are camping facilities out here. Did you set all of this up ahead of time, Napoleon?
You'd bet. I've got base camps like this set up all around this Lostbelt. I set them up with gear I pilfer, I borrowed from the villages where I drove off that one envoy. Still, the best part of being a rogue servant is you never have to worry about supplies. All you need is a place to rest your body and mind for a while. Of course, I doubt it'll be that easy for you two.
Oh no, we'll be fine, but thank you for your concern. We always carry food, water, and sleeping bags with us. My shield has a storage space, you see. Here we go.
Fo.
Don't worry, Fo, we have some for you too. Here, I'll put some water in your dish.
Fo.
Oh, that's pretty handy. But you can never have too many blankets. Here.
Thanks. He was warming them on his abs.
We still have the rations we brought from the border, but for tonight, why don't we have Gerda's bread? It's too bad we had to say our goodbyes so hastily. I wonder how Gerda's doing right now.
Me too. I hope we get to see her again at some point.
Yes, I hope so too.
Oh, fo.
Fo, it's rude to start eating your food before everyone's been served.
Fo.
Hey, that looks good. Let me try a bite. Oh, this is good. In fact, it deserves a medal. You said her name was Gerda? It looks like she's earned a medal of her own.
1 medal for the iron stomach.
Oh, that hit the spot. All right, let's talk tactics. Sorry for springing all of this upon you.
Not at all. It's good to discuss this as early as possible. Thank you for doing this.
I'm the one who should be thanking you. So, tomorrow we're going to make our move on the enemy. We'll be sneaking into the castle near Old Oslo, right? And when we do, we will almost certainly have a fight waiting for us.
Do you think we can win? Sigurd alone was a really tough enemy.
Good question. So to begin, we need to define our conditions for victory.
Fo?
Well, the question we need to ask is, what must we do to win? And conversely, what would mean that we have completely, absolutely lost? Can we only win by wiping out the enemy? No, we cannot possibly kill every giant and envoy in Scandinavia, and we wouldn't even want to. So that is not a suitable condition for victory. No, what you two need to do more than anything is
get the paper moon back.
Retrieving the paper moon is our highest, most urgent priority. And we also absolutely require information on the Tree of Emptiness since we can't see it. It may end up being after we've made contact with the Wandering Sea, but we will eventually need to destroy it and make this Lostbelt disappear.
Then that is your victory condition. That is what you will need to do. Get this paper moon thing back and find out what you can do about that Tree of Emptiness. So what is your defeat condition? Very easy. You both end up dead. So your only choice is to keep yourself safe and set about meeting your victory condition. If it were just a matter of defeating your enemies, things would be simple. Unfortunately, your condition for victory is pretty far from straightforward.
Fo.
Now, doggy, cheer up. I know it looks bad, but the Queen's influence extends through all of Scandinavia after all. But she has no intention of throwing everything she's got at us.
She doesn't.
If she wanted us dead, we would be. The envoys and giants all act as she desires, almost like puppets. If she ordered the giants of this area to find and attack us, we would be fighting them off every minute of the day. But that's obviously not what she has done. They haven't even raised any kind of alarm about us, let alone created a defensive line or anything of the sort.
You mean they're not even trying to defend against us?
That's right. As the Supreme Commander of the Grand Army, it pains me to say this, but she doesn't even think of us as an enemy. I think at worst she sees us as something more like a pack of wild animals. But that is okay. It's our inn. She's leaving herself wide open by not putting up her guard. Ah, and of course one more thing. Listen close. Once we make our way into their base... Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? And alright, it may be kind of a stretch to call that a strategy, but that is our plan.
Understood.
Good answer. Anyway, don't worry. I didn't bring you two all this way without anything to show for it. I've got more than one trump card up my sleeve. As for what they are, well, you'll just have to wait and see.
Fuck you!
Sorry about that. If it makes you feel any better, I'm only half serious.
Data updated. Yes, Foe has quite the mouth on him, doesn't he? Quest complete. Boop. Hey! 30 St. Court's anniversary present. Yay! More funds for Scotty. That's one more 10 pull for Scotty. Alright, Castle of Snow and Ice, end. Wow, the end already? Damn, we're finishing this Lost Belt up in record time. Go us. Let's go get the Paper Moon, loot the Scotty, and move along with our lives. Sounds like a simple plan to me. Section 6, Castle of Snow and Ice, end. Oh, and of course, for all of those kinds of fans, bury our face into Napoleon's massive chest.
Senpai, look!
Rose. Ravens, even.
Those birds are back. Does that mean we're near another one of those patches of land between ice and fire? I don't think we saw any birds around Gerda's village. Given what she said, animals are pretty rare here. Since they have fish in the village pond, they may be more used to aquatic life.
Ah, you don't say. So you two can see those birds too.
Is there a reason we wouldn't?
It's a good thing. Those birds are a good sign for us. They've guided me the whole time that I've been here, even led me to you two.
Eh? Those specific birds? Really?
Kidding, obviously. Now come on, it's morning and we need to pick up the pace of this march. Go ahead, activate those thruster things. We're almost to Her Majesty's castle.
Man, Elsa, you've been working hard. It was indeed a castle. A lonely, solitary castle. At a glance, you could tell it was meant as a home for someone important. A castle of snow and ice clearly made for royalty. It had nothing in the way of defenses as a fortress might. The first and most important consideration in its design had plainly been beauty.
If we were still in proper human history, this castle would be considered an architectural masterpiece.
Well, here in this Lost Belt, it's the largest building around. Not that that's exactly a high bar to clear. A castle of ice and snow. A kind of temple where a real-life god resides. The one and only castle in this whole Lost Belt, standing tall in the northern part of the Oslo Fjord in the Scandinavian peninsula. Oslo in proper human history. I'll say this. It sure looks like a place where the ruler of this icy land would live.
Whoa, fo.
How do we get in?
Through the back.
Napoleon has promoted us to Rear Admiral.
You've probably figured it out by now, but this isn't my first time here. I tried breaking in once before. As you can imagine, it didn't go particularly well. But it wasn't all for nothing, right? I may not have left with much in the way of spoils, but I got info.
A man famous for leading an army went in alone?
Damn straight. I know what heroic spirits are supposed to be like in my head, but it's hard to put into practice. It's not like I was overly confident in my power or anything. I was mostly just curious to see how far I could go. Plus, I had a few reasons for doing it. I might not have taken any of them down, but I did learn a few things. One of them was this underground passage leading to the castle's main building. If you just walk across the big bridge up top, you get swarmed by a mountain of envoys. I guess it's just in their nature.
Oh, fo.
Down below is much easier, not nearly as heavy security down here. So yeah, I figured this would be the case. She didn't increase security after I broke in, so it must mean she doesn't see me as an enemy. But she definitely knows we're here. That's just who she is. She's the real deal. There's no telling how strong she might be. Be ready to face her when we get up to the castle, because I promise you, she will be waiting.
Right.
A Lostbelt Skaha, huh?
Right. Here she's the king of this Lostbelt, and of course she has no way of knowing who we are.
Fo!
Oh! Senpai, Napoleon, there are magical energy signatures up ahead. Is that...
Nah, those are just ice beasts that decide to make this place their home. Let's take them out and be on our way. Artillerymen, forward!
I mean, Napoleon, you're the only artilleryman here. MASH is more like just normal frontline infantry.
お望みとあらば仕方ありませんね。不敬者。楽しみましょう。出ませ。お望みとあらば。不敬者。
Look, just because Nido Chris takes care of most of what we fight very easily is, come on. Doesn't mean we're gonna use her in every single... I mean, maybe. Maybe every single.
我が身はホルスなりし、ファラオなれば。かわいいお望みとあらば。屍の鏡、暗黒の鏡、扉となり、恐怖をここへ。暗空ねぶたジュゼル。
But really, the real MVP of this particular Lost Belt is just Melt. I can use Melt for 99% of this entire Lost Belt.
ThorW 大逆には死を。あら、怖い怖い。そう、ミトクリスの鏡を見たいのですね。
Why'd I grail Melt? Because I like Melt.
暗黒の鏡、扉となり。
Because
恐怖をここへ。
Pat emote.
暗空ねぶたジュゼル。邪魔者にはそろそろご退場願おうかしら。言えなさい、サラスバティ、メルトアウト。楽しみましょう。
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利。
Oh, I swear, what the hell do these things eat to get so damn big? Anyway, we weren't too loud, right? I was careful with my cannon. No, don't say it. I should have known from the moment I materialized with this giant cannon that I wasn't really going to be a great at covert ops. It doesn't look like the castle's garrison about to storm us, but it's probably too much to hope they didn't notice. Well, we may as well keep going. There's still a staircase leading up not far ahead, and once we get there...
The Queen will be waiting for us.
Sure will. Maybe that Sigurd guy too. We're not here for a rematch, but you might not have a choice. Alright, let's get a move on, Private.
Behold, chat, one of the very few nodes where Melt isn't our hero of choice.
It's beautiful. I mean, we've made our way into the castle. This seems to be the throne room. Scanning for magical energy now. I'm getting a powerful magical energy reading in this entire place. It's as though the castle itself is emanating magical energy. Yes, I suppose it would be. I made this castle of ice and snow out of my own magical energy. You may as well be standing within me. You can't even sense the servants standing nearby, can you? And then that is because these walls are hardened snow, the very same snow that falls all across my Scandinavia.
Oh, fo, kyo!
That voice!
Well, that didn't take long. Old Queenie here sure likes to make an entrance, doesn't she?
A god is eternal. A god is absolute. In ancient times, humans saw gods in everything. But in my world, my Lostbelt, there is only one. If a god is everywhere, in all things, then so am I. If a god is incredible power, then so am I. I am told the gods are gone in proper human history. I am told they are reduced to divine spirits and that humans never see them. It must be so painful, living in such a world. To think that humans have no choice but to bury the objects of their worship deep in their hearts, that they must rely on idols instead of true deities. But in this world, I exist. You may bow your heads and kneel before me, my children. I am Skaha Skadi, and I shall love you as my own.
It's really her. Skaha.
She really does look exactly like Skaha.
Oh. Oh.
Is that the only part of my name that draws your attention? Oh, yes. I remember now. The crypter told me you are acquainted with a heroic spirit from proper human history. Skaha, the Celtic warrior, was it? Regrettably, I know almost nothing about her. But I do know all about you. I'm told you fought bravely within that lump of metal you call the Shadow Border. You also rescued one of my precious human children. It seems you caused an unfortunate incident in Village 23, arising from a misunderstanding. But I forgive you. I forgive all of it. I shall love you as my own children. You did well to support the demonic sword's assault. That is how it should be. I do not wish for any living thing to suffer such pain more than once.
Maybe we can reason with her.
I think so, Senpai. I can even sense genuine, affection in her words. But at the same time, her magical energy is such that I can't even begin to process it. It's filling this entire castle. What's more, it's so concentrated that I almost feel like I'm gonna pass out. It's enough to kill any normal creature instantly. It even reminds me of the Seventh Singularity and the massive magical energy in the atmosphere there.
Oh.
That's real generous of you, Your Majesty. Does that mean you're putting us under your protection?
Ah, it's you. That archer whose name escapes me. You are alive because I wish it to be so. How about that? Is that enough to know that I love you?
Damn, so my name's that hard for you to remember, huh? I am Napoleon Bonaparte. I used to be an emperor. Now I am a hero of humanity. That's the second time I've told you that.
Forgive me, Archer, but I have no interest in the names or deeds of those from proper human history. Naturally, I permit you all to exist here in Scandinavia. I am God here, and there are only two possibilities I have for you. A simple question. Do I kill you, or love you? I have decided to grace the three of you with my love. I will therefore not kill you. That said, I will not be telling you where the Tree of Emptiness lies. I suggest you do not pursue it any further. You mean to cut it down, do you not? That would be a sin even I could not forgive. As for the paper moon, you are free to do with it as you will. Of course, I imagine its current owners may have something to say about that.
So what? You want us to put on a little show for you and fight them for it?
That is not the worst idea, but no, I had something else in mind. Thrud. You called for me, my goddess. Capture them.
Oh?
They have not yet broken the seam, but as I suspected, they have begun to form a group. As such, they shall enjoy my love here, where I can watch upon them closely. Understood. Command received. Skaha Skadi. What should I do if the targets resist? Do not kill them. They too are my precious children. As you wish. Then I will attempt to neutralize them without killing them. Once I activate my White Swan Mystic Code, I will engage my Light Spear's combat function. It's difficult to accurately gauge her magical energy inside this castle, but she's much more powerful than the Envoy. She's a Valkyrie.
Obviously, she's one of the originals they used as a base model. She and her two sisters lead that entire army. You should be thanking your lucky stars we get to see her for ourselves. That's Thrud. She's a daughter of Odin himself. She's a demigod who's been around since the Age of Gods.
A demigod?
Oh.
Don't be afraid. Don't retreat now. Her Majesty herself is watching, so let's show her what we can do.
Skaha Skadi, permission to release a Muspel to limit unforeseen possibilities in combat. Fighting alongside one would greatly reduce the difficulty of restraining the targets without killing them. Granted. Use him well, Thrud. A hole just opened up in the floor, and something's climbing out. Is that a giant? It has the same kind of mask as the other giants. It's also chained down by...
by nothing.
Scratch that, the chains just went flying and the giant's coming right at us.
We didn't see any giants underground on the way here. I guess this place is still full of surprises.
Quasi-link to Muspel established. Commencing target neutralization. Engaging combat mode. It's time you learned the power of the goddess's servants, people of proper human history. Dance, my human children. Dance. Show me how fiercely your passion burns.
This point master should be, oh, you're a god, cool? Not necessarily. As every god we've seen so far across our journey has been more of a pseudo-materialization where they had to use a human vessel and greatly powered themselves down. This is our first time meeting face-to-face with a straight-up honest-to-goodness god in an honest-to-goodness god body.
ただひたすらに切るのみ。
The closest thing to this would be Tiamat.
他にじゃあこういうのどうだ
Oh, let me turn that down. Sorry. Sorry for your ears.
つまんない連中だな他にやることないの
決着の時だ。本気で行きましょう。
Oh, Thrud, you're gonna have a wonderful time with us.
ええ、お任せよ。いいですね。束ねるは星の息吹。輝ける命の本流。X 損傷を確認。
We have plenty non-heroes as servants.
舞い上がれ。せい。うわうわ。せい。
And honestly, someone horrifying like Hitler or Stalin or whatnot has made a mark on humanity and could make their way into servanthood.
お任せよ。お任せよ。はっ。そこ。せい。うわうわ。せい。うわ。
Just keep hitting poor Waver. What did he ever do to you?
いいですね。いざ処置。やっ。せい。やっ。
Oh yeah, I don't think that they're going to do that. It's a little too close to... Hasn't been quite long enough, you know? For the old, let's just throw Hitler in there.
お任せよ。お任せよ。
Actually, maybe it has. It has been 80 years. Owie. Oh wait, she hits through that anyway. No point in that. Except for the critical up. It's only a one-time dodge, so... Got her! Good job, Okuta.
Just じゃあこういうのどうだああ
いいですね。お任せを。
計略だ
やっ。はっ。片付きましたね。お怪我はありませんか、マスター。
No, I think Hitler can be used, but he has to be depicted properly as the horrifying monster that he was. Charismatic, but still a horrifying monster. They can't pull a Caligula or a Nero or various other servants where they're like, oh, let's just make them good guys now. All right, Castle of Snow and Ice continues. A saber. What kind of saber could this possibly be that we're gonna fight? Who could it be? I mean, we've seen so very many sabers, haven't we? Let's bring in Tammy. Who could it possibly be? Guys, I think I know who the servant is. I think I know who the saber is. It's Yagu Monenori. Let's go.
The giant presumed to be a Muspel has been defeated. I believe it's most likely the strongest type of giant we've seen so far.
Muspels are flame giants. In Norse mythology, they were said to live in the fire realm of Muspelheim. Basically means they're mythology's ultimate badasses. You better believe they're tough if not even the gods want them running around unsupervised. But this was still no match for the Grand Army. Ah!
Defending against the archer's ranged attack. It is powerful, but insufficient to destroy my shield.
So this is what it's like going up against a real Valkyrie. Oh, fun stuff. Puissance aside, your gear's something else. Was that stuff made in the Age of Gods? Don't tell me Odin himself forged it.
You are strong, brave warriors from a far-off land. You have forced me to reconsider several of my underlying presumptions. And you, Archer, would seem to possess an exceptionally keen eye. My divine iron shield was indeed forged before Ragnarok and bestowed upon me by Odin. It will not break no matter what manner of strange firearm you wield against it.
Of all the times to be right. Oh, and as for my weapon here, this is called a cannon. Don't forget it.
Understood. Designation, cannon. I shall remember that. It's simpler than I expected.
Hey now, you actually listened to me. I like that. And you're just as beautiful as the Queen, though in a distinctly different way. But sadly, here in Scandinavia, I'm already promised to another. Thanks for the defense. Great teamwork. You've got a knack for this.
Thank you, but I'm afraid that fighting a true Valkyrie is much more difficult than the envoys. Adjusting Orthanel's output. Auto-maintenance functionality activated. This Lostbelt is full of beautiful, powerful life forms. I still can't determine how strong the Queen is, but even putting her aside, I never thought there would be so many other enemies on par with Sigurd. Ara. You shouldn't speak that name lightly, young shield maiden. Words have weight, after all. Now the one who filled you with such dread approaches. If only you had not spoken his name, he might have remained out of sight. Unbelievable. This place should make it impossible to detect a servant's distinct presence, yet I can still feel his intense burning cold as clear as day. Sigurd, the Dragon Slayer!
Foe! Foe! Over here, foe. It's not safe to be near Mash right now. Oh!
Now I see. Boy, do I ever see. Ooh la la, this is a tough one. He's just as this shield Mademoiselle described. I'm getting goosebumps. But I'm afraid that's where it stops. This isn't enough to make me swap my cannon for a white flag. I've still got ammo and plenty of gunpowder. If anything, now I'm just more curious than ever. Just how many shots does it take to break to the center of a great hero's spirit origin?
Why are you here, child of Barnstroker? Do you mean to interfere with my task?
Don't worry, I'm here. I'm supposed to be a knight now, so I'm just here in case Her Majesty needs me. Like my princess told me to be. Those are the Chaldeans? Well, here they are, just like Her Majesty said. What do you want to do about them, Ophelia? If you want them dead, I can kill them right now.
Silence, Saber. Ophelia. Your Majesty, would you be so kind as to have Thrud stand down? I wish to speak with that young woman. Granted. Did you hear that, Thrud? Stand down. As you wish. Mash Kyrielite. It's been a while since we last spoke, yes? 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. It's been a long time, Ophelia. I've been wanting to talk to you again, too. I've wanted to tell you everything about what happened in Chaldea, about our journey to restore humanity. I wanted to tell you about who I was then and who I am now, and to ask you about the name Cryptor. Looking back, I never really talked with anyone else. I only ever offered my opinion on what was happening in a given moment. I couldn't really express how I felt about things back then. But that's not true anymore. I've been to so many places now, and I've learned so much from so many people. I've learned so much about life, about good and evil, and how people retain their humanity even in difficult times. But at Chaldea, even though we were all part of a team, I never tried to get to know the other members of Team A. And that's why I want to get to know you all now. That first year as members of Team A, I want to find out what meaning there was to the time I spent with all of you. I see. I'm glad to hear that. You really are earnest, aren't you? But I'm afraid we won't be able to do that, Mash. This is where your journey ends. Ophelia! You've seen so many things I don't know about, and you've been to so many worlds I'll never visit. I would love to hear all about all of it. I really wish we could just sit down and have a long talk. I've felt that way ever since we first met. I mean that. And with how you've grown since then, I think we might be able to have an even better discussion now. But that doesn't matter. I'm not going to change. I can't. I'm a Cryptor now, with all the responsibility that entails. I can't let you all go. I won't. Even if it means resetting the entire planet. And what if I did? That's who the Cryptors are. That's who I am under Lord Kishtaria Vodim's guidance. It's strange, isn't it, Mash? You were originally supposed to come with us. Now you've become a demi-servant, and our enemy. I'm not sure if this is irony, or fate. I don't think of myself as your enemy. I'd like to resolve our differences peacefully if we can. Is that not the case for you, Ophelia. Me? Well, I suppose I...
Whoa there now, slow down. Let's not try to skip to the end here. Go easy on the poor girl, Mademoiselle Mash.
Napoleon? Do you and Ophelia already know each other?
Well, this is the second time we've met. We first met when I broke into the castle. In fact, let me be frank. Mademoiselle Ophelia Farmsalon isn't just beautiful. She is also my fiancée.
Fiancé?
What? How? Explain. How the hell did that happen?
I'm trying and failing to imagine Ophelia and Napoleon Bonaparte, the heroic spirit, married. Besides, aren't you already married, Napoleon? Or wait, if I recall correctly, you divorced your wife, but then went on to marry an archduchess, and... But then I do suppose there are heroic spirits who make a clean break from their past when they materialize, so... Never mind that. I still can't believe Ophelia is your fiancé.
I'm not.
Huh? You're not?
Of course not.
I'm one of the 7 chosen cryptors. Such trivialities are rather unimportant now. Besides, Mash, you said it yourself. The world we grow up in has been completely wiped clean, right? Engagement? Ridiculous. Marriage? Family? Every institution of the society humans cultivated is gone. All that remains now is the new worlds in each Lostbelt, with new societies and new norms to guide humanity. Take a look at this Scandinavia. The very idea of marriage doesn't even exist.
I propose to you. You never said no.
Then you are engaged.
Damn straight. But would you mind letting me finish, Mash? Listen, Ophelia. Not saying no outright to a proposal is like saying yes. Don't go all Talleyrand on me now. I want you to be my beloved Josephine. No, wait, scratch that. That's an awful thing to say. I want you to take your place beside Josephine in my heart. There we go.
Fo, 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 fo.
You really didn't turn him down? Because the very idea was preposterous. It was so stupid I didn't even merit a response. Regardless of your absurd claims, my silence in no way indicates an affirmative answer.
That's all okay with me. I fell in love with you. Yes, that's right. I am in love with you. How's that? Are you convinced now, mon chéri Ophelia Farmsalon?
Wow, I don't think he's joking.
You bet I'm serious. I've never been more serious about anything. And what is so strange about that? She is one of my main motivations. If a woman I am in love with is here, I can't just sit back and do nothing, now can I?
Oh, fo, fo. Kyo, kyo.
Your words ring just as hollow now as they did back then. I can't stand to listen any longer. Why would you even think to propose to someone you'd only just...
Haven't you ever heard of love at first sight?
I have neither time nor patience for jokes. Any heroic spirit fighting for humanity is our enemy. Your Majesty, will you grant me permission to stain this castle's walls with his filthy blood? No. What are you saying, Ophelia? This man seems as if he would make a perfect partner for you. Regardless, ending the life of one I have elected to love is a grave crime. You may be my daughter in charge of growing the Tree of Emptiness, but that is a request that I cannot grant. You may capture him without killing him, Ophelia. As you wish, my queen. You've heard her, Saber. Neutralize them. No killing. And make extra sure you don't kill Mashkirielite, even by accident.
Got it. Precision work isn't exactly my specialty. But if that's your order for me, then fine. So I just have to not kill the shield girl, right?
I meant what I said, Saber. Oh my, Ophelia. You can be quite the stubborn girl, can't you?
This won't take long.
It should be impossible to sense magical energy here, and yet it's still unbelievably powerful. And then there's that odd air about him.
This isn't like bloodlust. This is way more similar to...
Orthonaut's output is stable. This battle won't turn out like the last one. I'm ready to go, Senpai.
Well, damn. I guess I'm the one who stirred this pot. Sorry about that. But don't worry. If we're going to do this, I'll make damn sure you two make it out alive. Time to undo some of the damage I just did to my reputation here. Go ahead and get all of your hopes up. I won't let you down no matter how big they are.
Also, Napoleon, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to deny your marriage proposal. I already laid claim to Ophelia when I saw her.
遊びはほどほどに。わかりますね。行きなさい、セイバー。
She is in the harem. My harem.
Kuda. ではこうしよう。Kuda.
ホールドアップ。無駄打ちはしません。払いたまえ、清めたまえ。楽しみです。
Swimming no jikan desu.
スイミングの時間です。
Told you.
水面に光るは勝利の剣。エクスカリバービビアーン。狙い撃ちです。エクスシュート。
敵味方識別解除。
Also, guys, I hope you're fine with me
楽
doing
しみです。遠慮はしません。
English Seto Kaiba's
ロッ
voice.
クを楽しみです。えいとエクスシュート。
I just happen to very much like the prospect of calling us third-rate enemies with a fourth-rate
不
strategy.
要でしょうけど。
敵味方識別解除。すべて甘い。
水面の日差し恵みとならん。払いたまえ、清めたまえ。行きますよ、マスター。
You're just a bunch of third-rate opponents with a fourth-rate master.
水面に光るは勝利の剣。エクスカリバービビアーン。豊足原に憂いなく。
無駄だ。敵味方識別解除。すべて甘い。
His normal hits are quite strong, you say, as he deals 0 damage to Tamamo.
遠慮はしま。ロックオン。ご所望でございますね。この世にはびこる念に邪無。みそぎ払うは我が静石。私全開でご奉仕いたします。水天日光ここに見参。 狙い撃ちです。
甘い甘い。
I guess we'll save it for next turn, and then we'll NP him. Actually, nah, screw it.
水面の兆し。恵みとならホールドアップ。
Kick his ass.
物理で殴るだけが戦いじゃない。これぞ大軍師の究極陣地。帰らずの地破ってみせるがいい。
Drown this nerd in summer.
水面に光るは勝利の剣。エクスカリバービビアーン。狙い撃ちです。
Oh, look at that. He actually chewed through waiver. There he goes.
お疲れですか。では遊戯といたしましょう。
We just wanted our girl team in the front, so we let waiver go. It's fine. Gander isn't a mental debuff. Mental debuffs include things like charm. See, he's immune to being charmed because they didn't want you to be able to just Uriel charm lock him. Doesn't stop Uriel from doing extremely high damage. Alright. We must have Napoleon. And we must have Mash in the front. Which is butts. Butts, I say. But that's why we're going to swap things around. Whoop. That. We'll just swap Mash around and everything will be fine. Perfectly fine. Heck, we could make things even easier just by taking Merlin, but I want to bring Tamamo for funsies. Or do I? Oh, let's also be ready to bring Christmas to them. Let's just bring Merlin. We'll make it easy. We'll make it real easy. Easy breezy.
Well, well, you're moving better than the last time.
We're really straining the Orthonas, but its output hasn't fallen. I can still fight, Senpai. I think Napoleon is somehow providing some sort of spell boost.
Don't tell me you forgot. I'm the only hero of humanity in this whole Lostbelt. I believe I'm basically calibrated for fighting here. And that's not even the only trick I have up my sleeve. How about you, great hero? Now I see. Joint resistance from proper human history, huh? Clever. Good. This would be boring if you couldn't fight back at least a little.
Am I imagining things, or is Sigurd smiling?
Ophelia, release one of my limiters.
Very well. I'll give you that. Forced Spirit Origin Ascension Limiter Release. Destroy all who would stand in our way, my knight. A Spirit Origin Ascension?
Phase 2 limiter released. Authorization granted to heroic spirit Sigurd for full employment of the demonic sword Graham. Now then, how shall I kill you? Which one should I kill first? Oh, and what am I saying? I've got to start with you, lover boy. Maybe that'll finally shut you up. Ho ho, more armor and blades, eh? I see, I see. So you're starting to take us seriously, eh?
I can tell his magical energy is spiking even higher. I haven't even touched him and I can still feel the Orthonaus groaning under the strain. But I can still keep going, Senpai. The Orthonaus' auto-maintenance is keeping its output high and stable. I see. You really have grown, haven't you? You never showed such fierce determination before, Mash. It's dazzling to behold, and beautiful. Ophelia, I don't know what the Cryptor's reasons are for doing this. But even if I did, I can't walk away, no matter how strong the Lostbelt servant you control may be. We know someone who may not have been strong himself, but if he were here now, he'd still yell at us not to lose just because our opponent is stronger. I see. You've grown so much stronger since I last saw you, Mash. Shockingly so, in fact. I'm sorry about this.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Hey, Ophelia, what's up with your eye? Why does it look like that?
It's a mystic eye, but I don't know exactly what it can do. Senpai, Napoleon, be ready. She's about to use some sort of powerful spell. Phenomena. Shufenaf. That armor of yours is impressive. Ich will es niemals glänzen sehen. The load on the Orthonaus just increased exponentially. Output is dropping rapidly across the board, even though the auto-maintenance is working fine. What's going on? Does this mean you were able to rewind phenomena over a limited area? My Mystic Eye's rank is Jewel.
That's basically the highest, guys.
Once I've decided I don't want to see something shine, it will never shine in front of me. I never showed this to you before, did I? Well, now you know. This is what I can do if I feel like it. I'm sorry, Mash, but you're going to sit this one out. So once you define a target, you can manipulate its passage through time. But that's the domain of true magic. Even with a Mystic Eye, that could never just be an extension of any regular magecraft. There must be more to it, something I'm not seeing.
Worry about that later. Here he comes. Done talking. I want to get back to it. Let me show you what Graham can do when its limits have been released. It's still a ways off from its true power, but you'll just have to deal with that. There's no way Ophelia's going to let me use my third phase. Now then, time for you to die. What do you know? This great hero guy hits even harder than the giants. It looks like I can't let my guard down even for a moment. Mademoiselle Mash, if your armor is not working right, just hang in there and focus on defense.
No, I can still fight. I'm not going to turn and run, not for a third time against the same opponent. I can't turn back now, Senpai.
Don't you dare overdo it, Mash. I forbid it.
I won't. I'll make sure to keep just shy of reckless.
気持ちよく暴れましょうか。
Jewel ranking isn't the highest ranking of Mystic Eyes, but it's very high ranking. Alright, Mash, let's do this, shall we? And with this, we win. Well done, everybody. Good job on winning. Glad to know we did a good job winning.
そうしたいの？
Couldn't use the usual F through S ranking system? No, because the Mystic Eyes have to have their special ranking system. Deal with it. Garden of Abalone.
えい、ほう。
甘い。
無駄打ちはしません。ホールドアップ。ええ、楽しみです。遠慮はしませんとも。スイミング。華麗。あまりにも華麗。小柱と散れ。エクスカリバー。ビビアーン。フリーズ。エクスシュート。
Man, without the Tamamo buff, she certainly feels a bit weaker.
敵味方識別解除。すべて甘い。
とっておき見せてあげるわ。
いいとも。
そうしたいの？山を抜き水を割りなお落ちることなきその両翼確翼三連。
耐えなければ。
そうです。
行くわよ。
Phase 2.
敵味方識別解除。しはっし
Get wrecked by Gander, idiot. Dab. Dab, dab. Dab, 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 dab.
そんなに見たいの？ええ、行きますよ。マスター。
いいとも。
スイミングの時間です。水面に光るは勝利の剣。エクスカリバービビアーン。
そうです。どうかな。この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。
Now let's see if you can penetrate my impenetrable defense. Merlin OP.
星の宇宙に物見の打て楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。罪なき者のみ通るがいい。ガーデン・オブ・アバロン。
フリーズ。
敵味方識別解除。すべて殺す。魔剣疑似天下。我が炎太陽を散奪せり。ベルベルケンガーマ。敵味方識別解除。すべて殺す。
Oh, is he done? Oh, I'm sorry. I stopped paying attention.
お任せ。夢のように片付けよう。バー。
とっておき見せてあげるわ。ええ、行きますよ。マスター。いいわ。
And we win. Good job, everyone. Let's all shake hands, Doctor. Doctor. Well done, Doctor.
その両翼確約3連。
耐えなければ。
スイミングの時間です。水面に光るは勝利の剣エクスカリバービビアーン。行くわよ。
この程度か。
浜辺は綺麗に。何事も後片付けが大切です。
Alright, now let's go to the part where we lose in the cutscene. And talk about how incredibly powerful he is.
Ooh la la! Lostbelt servant! So this is the power of your demonic sword, huh? It's strong, really strong. Makes me wish I had a whole bunch of them for my grand army. But I guess that I'll have to wait for another time. Hey, Ophelia! I'm happy you're looking my way, but can't you look a little happier too? Not that that angry look is bad for you, but lighten up a little. I did come to profess my love. Don't let him get to you, Ophelia. A heroic spirit in a hybrid, huh? You're more of a challenge than I thought. Something's helping you out. Maybe it's because you materialized with power your own spirit origin could never hope to possess. But it's still not enough. The best you can hope for is Ophelia's mystic eye to stop you in your tracks. You're gonna need to be a hell of a lot stronger if you plan on killing me. If you're going to prattle on about love, you'd better make sure you're good enough to back it up. Well now, that's food for thought, isn't it?
That was a most impressive dance, everyone. But I'm afraid it is curtains now. Ophelia, that is quite enough. Poor Mash is about to collapse. Can you not see how she is gasping for breath? I cannot abide seeing my beloved children fighting to the death. I'm fine. I can still... This is nothing. We've always... As you wish, Your Majesty. Saber.
Huh. I'm warning you both. Next time, I won't hold back.
Well, this may not be entirely necessary, but I shall finish this myself. Oh, and do not worry, I will not kill you, and you will feel no pain. I'm afraid you will have to stay in the dungeon, but be warned, resisting this time will not yield such a pleasant dance as just unfolded here. Let me show you what I mean.
My body! I can't move! Ugh.
Bow down. Rejoice that such divine power now courses through your body. Bow down. This is the light of the rune inherited from the Allfather himself. I will not hurt you, nor will I rob you of your magical energy. I have simply rendered your body inert. Now stay. Savor the depths of my godly power and love. Senpai!
Now I see. This is quite something. Wow, gods really are something else. I seriously can't even lift a finger.
People of proper human history, my new children. I am a bit disappointed to see this is apparently the best you can do, and that this is all the combined power of humanity and heroic spirits can offer. I was expecting something more after I was told you destroyed the king who ruled over the Russian Lostbelt, but it seems you are not quite up to the task of killing a god. Know your place. and accept sweet repose in your mother's lap.
Who is it? Couldn't agree more, Queenie. Gods are eternal. Gods are absolute. Humans could never kill one. And that's still true for those of us who have become a divine spirit, too.
A new threat!
I guess we're not the only surprise visitors today. It's hard to make out her presence with the castle's magical energy getting in the way, but it looks like...
A servant? But Senpai, that servant is a heroic spirit. She's...
Oh, is female. Oh, is kindness.
Damn straight. I'm no heroic spirit. I'm a divine spirit. My, what a strange thing to say. A divine spirit, you say? No such hollow things are to be found in my Scandinavia. Here, I am the sole god. In which case, you must be... Oh, yes, I see. You are here from another Lostbelt. Ophelia? This is Kynus, the divine spirit, a Lostbelt servant who serves Lord Kirshtaria. She's a special emissary with the authority to cross between Lostbelts in order to inspect them. Would you agree with that assessment, Kynus? Yeah, sure. That's all accurate. But you know, after poking my head in here and seeing a demigod and a demonic sword wielder going at it, followed by an actual god showing off her power, I can't help but want a little reward for myself. Reward? Don't worry, I'm not demanding you hand over your life or anything. Yeah, I just think one ought to do the trick. It's been dull, not having anyone to kill these last few months. Almost as dull as following your precious man's orders all the damn time.
She's a barrel of destructive impulses, this one. This ancient Greek divine spirit's obviously pretty excited about killing. And she's got some sort of boost from the god of the sea or something. No wonder she feels powerful enough to go around calling herself a divine spirit. So, who does she plan to kill?
Hey woman, I'm talking to you. Farms alone, was it?
Where's her spear gonna end up falling? Ophelia? No, it won't be her, but it'll be someone similar, since she's not gunning to fight a servant. In which case...
I can't authorize that. I'm certain you still don't have permission to fight. Your power is meant to help Lord Kirshtaria make his ideals reality. It is not to be used for idle mischief. The hell, ideals? Did you just say ideals? That jackass's goals have nothing to do with ideals. He's just a vindictive little bitch. Ambition? Desires too big for his human britches. That's all he's got. So much so that I actually feel better about myself for losing to such a shitty piece of work. But I digress. I've still got to decide who I'm going to kill. Don't worry, Farms Alone. It's not you. No, I think I'm gonna go for... the Master of Chaldea. So you killed the King of Russia, did you? Wouldn't you know it, I've got a thing for killing kings myself. Looks like you and me got a lot in common, so I've got an idea.
Let's have a go!
Hey you, what do you think you're doing pointing that thing at me?
Ooh la la, sorry about that. Wouldn't you know it, my arm just slipped. You can't be more than 10 centimeters away, putting you in point-blank range of a cannon. Divine spirit or not, I don't think you can dodge it. Wanna find out?
Ha! So you can move, King of Europe. And here I thought you'd been hit with the primordial rune.
Let's just say this is one of those adrenaline rush things. Maybe you've heard about them.
I like your style, heroic spirit. You're a straight shooter, in more ways than one. Makes you easy to kill.
Well now, I didn't think you'd block the round with just one hand.
Of course I did. Didn't hurt a damn bit either. I'm a divine spirit, remember? What, you don't believe me? Go ahead, fire another. Of course, if you're too weak to even do that. Why don't I just take a little off the top of your head? The hell's up with this castle? What, is it too fancy for the likes of me? Killing against the rules or something? Indeed, I prefer elegance over boorishness.
You heard the queen. She's the scariest thing here. If she says no, there's no arguing.
Yeah? Do I look like I care? Out of my way, sword boy.
These are my quarry. I don't recall tossing them to a feral beast. So before you start yapping about a reward again, maybe you do your damn job and tell us your master's message.
So somebody never learned to share, huh? I didn't peg you for such a loyal lapdog.
Dog, huh? That sure brings back memories. Everything even similar to those disappeared from here ages ago. There aren't any animals left to draw analogies to here in Scandinavia. They're all gone. It's all going away. That goes for you too, Kindness. I don't know how rotten the world you came from is, but now that you're in this one, you'll end up the same way. If that's what you want, go ahead. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll make sure you end up staying here for a long, long time.
If you think I'm gonna be scared by... Aha! So that's how it is. Interesting. Russia was nice and simple, but this Scandinavian Lostbelt's a real mess. It's way more interesting. Don't worry, I'm not so uncouth as to do anything to ruin it. I'd say something else has that covered. You win. No more killing unarmed brats. I'll let him off the hook for killing the Tsar. Best to do this sort of thing in your own world anyway. Ain't that right, sword boy? Are you satisfied now, Kindness? Can't you tell? I couldn't be more done. And don't you talk to me, Ophelia. Just shut up. Don't say a word. Don't even look at me. I hate women like you more than anything. I'd have killed you long ago if you weren't a crypter. How odd, we actually agree about something. But how we feel has nothing to do with our jobs. Now hurry up and do yours. Back in Russia, your only duty was to act as an observer, but this time around you've got a little something extra, haven't you? Aw, you've got more guts than I gave you credit for. If you can give as good as you take, you might not be so bad after all. Here, it comes with a message from my boss just this once.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Queen of the Scandinavian Lostbelt. My apologies for delivering a recorded message rather than visiting in person. I am Kirstaria of Odin. I am in charge of the largest Lostbelt, Greece, and the leader of the Cryptors. As for you, Chaldeans, welcome to this bleached earth. As your senpai, I'm proud to welcome you here. While I confess that doing so required some speculation on my part, I've taken the liberty of sending this message to the King of Scandinavia with the assumption that you will all be present as well. Given how you triumphed in Russia, and how close this Lostbelt lies to it, I'm confident you will have reached it by the time this message is delivered. Our goal is to rebuild human history. This entails recreating a land for gods to inhabit. Proper human history was not a mistake per se, but neither was it correct. Instead of loss and gain resulting in a net benefit, they became caught in a system that resulted in unchecked growth for both.
It was an incredible waste. What should have been a virtuous cycle was effectively stuck in a rut. The foreign god wept to see the state of this planet and decided to grace it with their presence. As cryptors, our duty is to help the Lostbelts take root and become stronger than proper human history. The King of Mages' answer to humanity's failure was to have other humans incinerated, but not me. I choose to rewrite history with the foreign god's help. People have had gods running the world behind the scenes since ancient times. They believed gods were both the planet itself and the laws of nature that governed it. But humanity lacked self-awareness. Those laws were meant to be used, not obeyed. It was that mistake that led to humanity and the gods parting ways. Humanity did not forget the gods. They abandoned that possibility once they became unable to handle them. Your Majesty, Queen of Scandinavia, you care for a mythological ecosystem that met its end in a self-imposed ruin, rather than one which ended when its people forgot it, like Greece. Keep the Tree of Emptiness safe. So long as it exists, that Lostbelt will never vanish. I implore you to turn your back on your fate and to choose the path of survival. Once you do that, I would like nothing more than for you to face off against my own Tree of Emptiness. My Tree of Emptiness has already fully grown. While the Norse world of Yggdrasil, or the Norse world has Yggdrasil, a world tree that serves as the foundation of its every realm, Greece now has a Tree of Emptiness supporting the very heavens. Thus, it has been dubbed the World Tree Atlas by my ally, the great god Zeus. Chaldeans, I can say that, as far as you are concerned, Atlas is the greatest and most important target. The roots of my Lostbelt's Tree of Emptiness now cover 80% of the Earth's surface. Even if you succeed at cutting down every other Lostbelt tree, you will never be able to restore proper human history so long as Atlas remains standing. Queen of Scandinavia, you are a god, and so I have high hopes for you. Indeed, you could even think of this as the gods taking revenge on humans for usurping their throne. As for me, I am prepared to make full use of the gods, despite being a human myself. I will create a fully realized Age of Gods, a glorious history where human weakness is a thing of the past. It will be a world that will endure no matter how heated human consciousness becomes, a place where life can flourish with neither deficit nor fragmentation. Be warned that I will show no mercy to any who would stand in the way of that goal. I hope that alongside Ophelia, you will choose the best possible future.
Lord Kirshtaria.
You know, that kinda sounded like a declaration of war.
Wrong. That was a declaration of victory. That is how you should hear it. Thanks to Lord Kirshtaria's leadership, we cryptors have already begun a new chronicle for humanity. So he is the cryptors' leader. I see. So he wishes to restore the Age of Gods and help us take our revenge. Fascinating. Does that mean I am the closest to his ideal? If my Scandinavia's Tree of Emptiness were to continue growing as it is, it will eventually swallow up his Lostbelt as well. Of course, Lord Kirshtaria would be perfectly happy with that outcome. He has even said he would like nothing better, and that the Greek Lostbelt is not necessarily the best. Oh? Is that so? How admirable of him. What's more, he says he will make full use of us gods. Indeed, my Scandinavia never did have anyone willing to voice such grand ambitions. Right? He's the damn avatar of human foolishness and hubris. I bet he and Zeus get along great. Zeus. He is an ancient god from the Mediterranean, yes? Ah, I remember now. Cainus. I have heard that name before. As I recall, it belonged to a ferocious member of the Argonauti, a tyrant who boasted that she was a god by virtue of her strength, beloved by the sea. No. Wait, she was not beloved by the sea, but tainted by... Cainus! What are you... So, you would point your spear at an ally's throat. This says a great deal to your master's judgment and adjutants. Stop it, Cainus! Do you mean to completely betray Lord Kirstaria's trust in you? Begone, Cainus. Your role in this Lostbelt is over. And don't bother stopping by the other Lostbelts either. I'm told that a number of heroic spirits from proper human history have shown up in the ocean now that the god of the seas is gone. I ask that you return straight to Lord Kirstaria without stopping anywhere else. Good point. Besides, I've still got to go check in on that pain-in-the-ass Artemis. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be out of your hair and on my way straight back to your precious Lord Kirstaria real soon. See you around. So long, Caudians. You guys are probably gonna rot in this dungeon, or end up on the wrong end of Swordboy's blade. Not gonna lie, shit's looking bleak for you guys. But hey, I want a chance to kill you idiots myself, so hurry up and crush the weirdos on this Lostbelt. Now that we have had a chance to say hello and all that, next time we meet, the gloves come off. Make sure you're halfway decent warriors by then. If I wanted something with lifeless eyes, I'd go fishing.
Oh, don't you worry, Cainus. Next we meet, I'll be prepared to fill you with mana.